So good evening, everyone. Welcome back again and in another weekly market outlook. Hope you are good, doing well, enjoying your weekend, and obviously getting ready for next week. So we had a very nice week last week. Pretty good moves, aggressive moves, specifically on the equity market. And I was telling you that money is there. Money was there on the equity market. All right. So we are still having potential on the equity market. So let's move on to the website first, and then we're gonna look at the setups for next week. So if anyone want to join us looking for group membership, just simply go to techtradingacademy.com, check the membership levels. All right, so there are two membership levels: group membership and one-on-one training. So if you're looking for group membership or one-on-one training, just go to the techtradingacademy.com or fill that form. All right, so fill that form and send that form to me for further information. So I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. So now let's move on to the social sites where you can follow me for ideas and updates. So for social sites or social links, just go to my TradingView profile, or you can get all these links from my YouTube channel in the description box. So you can get these links from my TradingView signature box. Website where you can join the membership, YouTube where you can follow the weekly market outlook, Twitter where you can follow the ideas and updates, Facebook ideas and updates, Slack group. This is a paid platform where the members going to have the access. Once they join us, they have access to that group. All right, and Telegram ideas and updates. So let's move on to the market for next week. So dollar index, as you guys know that dollar is pushing lower. We were having weaknesses on the dollar, all right, and dollar is going down and the rest of the world is going up. Okay, dollar going down and the rest of the world is going up means that liquidity issue is not there anymore at the moment. Okay, so dollar index, we are still within that bigger ascending channel. You guys can see that. Okay, so this triangle broken out, we were anticipating that to go down. Okay, it is at a area or place where we can see another leg higher. Okay, dollar index can go higher for next leg. All right, or we can see correction and longer term drop on the dollar index back to that low, back to these lows, the lows which we have seen in 2018. Okay, so last week we were looking for it to keep pushing lower. All right, it is still pushing lower. Okay, and the move which we are having is pretty slow, not very much sharp. Okay, so the pattern is completed. Okay, so chart you have just seen, we got the impulsive move, we are having triangle there broken out, and the next ABC move, you guys can see that A, B and C wave which is just appearing over there. Okay, that C wave can extend all the way back to that low. So any corrections you see over there on lower, there are corrections on lower time frame. Okay, so price can keep pushing lower. Okay, keep pushing lower all the way back to that low, this low, and then you are looking for it to bounce off very aggressively the way it has done there. Okay, or bounce off from current price, correct, and go all the way back to the top. As long as price is not bouncing off, not rising very aggressively for upside, and keep correcting on lower time frame, short term bearish. Okay, so stay short term bearish and keep trading for short term to the downside. Okay, but make sure you sell it with care. So for more downside, we need a bigger correction. Okay, if I'm gonna look at this dollar index chart for bigger correction, for bearish trend continuation. Okay, back to that bottom, we need a bigger correction over there. Okay, something like these corrections, see there, so something like that corrections for more downside. So we need that correction. So that correction is not there, it's correcting on lower time frame. Just stay short term bearish, and once price gonna bounce off or break the bearish trend, start looking for upside. Okay, so these corrections, price still can push lower, another leg lower like that. Okay, it can correct for another time and can keep pushing lower. So for reversal, you are waiting for this bearish trend to break out aggressively for upside. Okay, correct and go higher. If not breaking up, keep pushing lower, short them, continuation to the downside, and watch for breakout from the bottom or previous low and reverse. Hopefully you got my point. What to look for on the dollar index. All right. And by the way, that was a very nice triangle. Okay, the triangle which we had, not just on the dollar index, we had that triangle almost everywhere on dollar pairs. All right, so dollar index still trending to the downside. Okay, but still bearish, short-term bearish, and keep pushing lower. Wait for the aggressive move for the bearish trend to break up aggressively. Once breakout is coming up, watch for the correction and reverse the dollar index for the upside. So if we're going to look at the euro dollar, very much same like the dollar index, or you can say that just reverse the euro dollar chart. Just reverse the dollar index chart. Okay, both were on the daily time frame. At the same time, we had that move. Okay, bullish move. So we were having very strong risk on moves last week, all right? And euro dollar is at a place where we can see another leg lower. Okay, this leg lower still can appear over there. So correction as said on the dollar index. Okay, so bigger correction as said like that. Okay, bigger correction like that, breakout and continue to go higher that wave. Okay, so correction is not appearing over there. This correction is not appearing over there. Sharp sell is coming over there, similar like that. So start selling the euro dollar all the way back to this bottom or new low back to these areas. And again, longer term reversal. So that's the bigger structure. That's the bigger chart. Make sure you keep that bigger chart in your mind when you are trading on the euro dollar for sell side. Okay, so some traders are selling euro dollar very aggressively. So make sure you trade with care. Okay. So I had, last time a lot of messages at these areas. Okay, when people, those who are less experienced traders, all right, so they were selling the euro very aggressively at these areas, and they believe that market only going to go down. Okay, within these areas based on the support and resistance. That was a very strong resistance. You can say that if you are a support and resistance trader. So people were selling very aggressively over there. But what happened? Market did not went lower, yeah, and went higher. We're not using stop loss, all right. So they were not using stop loss. I were having a lot of messages on the social sites, yeah, and a lot of people lost a lot of money over there when euro went higher back to that top, all right, up to 25. So it's a risk on move everywhere at the moment. Okay, if that risk on move is pushing higher, okay, then we may see another leg higher back to those areas. So make sure you see price action over there before you start selling the euro dollar all the way back to that bottom. So just that was just a reminder. All right, so euro dollar, let's look at the lower time frame, still trending for upside. Okay, so last week I think you have seen that chart. Okay, so bigger time frame analysis which I have just shown you. So now the wave you guys are having over there. Okay, so we have seen that triangle breakout, very much similar like the dollar index. All right, and now this move to break down. Okay, that move is corrective for upside as long as price stay above that trend, short-term bullish. Okay, so short-term bullish, correct again, short-term bullish, correct again, short-term bullish. All right, and if you are buying euro for upside, short-term trading, short-term buy on corrections. Okay, and if you are selling euro, make sure you see a very strong aggressive break to the downside. Okay, and then you start selling the euro all the way back to that bottom. Okay, so this is going to be a good trade. So if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, okay, it is still correcting for another leg higher, so it can push higher. Okay, you can still buy the breakout for short term for upside, but make sure short term for upside, not very aggressively. Okay, short term for upside, test the top or form new high. This is what you are watching. Very aggressive move, get into the trade. On corrections, keep selling the euro all the way back to the bottom. As long as you don't see that aggressive move, don't sell euro aggressively. Okay, so something like that kind of price action you are searching over there for euro dollar shorts. So hopefully you got my point. Bearish on the euro dollar, bullish on the dollar index. Okay, but make sure you guys see price action with care. All right. So dollar chief to just go higher. Okay, for next week. So correction to complete and that trade. Okay, so if I'm gonna look at the lower time frame, price very nicely bounced off from the previous low. So this correction to get slightly bigger, deeper. Okay, once that correction gonna get deeper, watch it to break out and continue to go higher. Okay, correction is not correction is forming over there, by the way, on the lower time frame, and price is visiting these lows again. Okay, then start looking for dollar shift to bounce off and go back up to the top. All right, so that's the dollar shift. Dollar shift can go higher. Okay, dollar shift can go all the way back to that top. Okay, so this is going to be a slow move. We can say that, not very aggressive. So if going to be very aggressive, you're going to be lucky. So because euro dollar shift is in a big sideways market. Okay, you see there, it is in a big sideways market. So trade accordingly. Dollar CAD. Okay, so dollar CAD is doing nicely, so pushing lower. If we're going to look at the bigger time frame, guys, the 2-day chart, so it's going down nicely, pushing aggressively lower. As you guys know, that OPEC is having a meeting today, and they are going to reach to an agreement, okay, which is going to drive definitely oil prices higher for short to medium term, even longer term, and strength on the CAD. So that's what we are having. All right, so strength on the CAD from that top. So what was the last week? Last week we were anticipating correction to form. All right, so this correction to form and that correction to break down and continue to go lower. So we had that correction broken down and pushing lower, and this is the next week analysis. All right, so price already breaking lower. Now that next wave to complete, correct and continue to go lower. Okay, this is the trend which is just there. So on a bigger time frame, if we're going to look at the bigger time frame, so if we're going to look at the bigger time frame, and we are almost about to reach to the trend. Okay, so trend is about to hit, or we can say that average price, that's the average price or sideways market. Okay, where we can see another leg higher, okay, means that another shock to the market or full recovery. Okay, and price is going to keep pushing lower, all the way back to the low. So for more downside, we need a bigger correction, right? As said, for more downside, we need a bigger correction. So we need a bigger correction like that before you guys start selling the dollar CAD from longer term to the downside. So just sell short term. Okay, the bigger correction, the deeper correction is due on the dollar CAD. Okay, so the deeper correction is due on the dollar CAD. So dollar CAD to correct for another time and form another leg lower. Okay, so correct, we may see gap tomorrow when market going to open. We may see gap, all right, because the OPEC countries are going to reach to an agreement. Okay, so once you see that correction, this short-term trade for the next week, all right, like that next leg, and hit the 30. Okay, so after hitting the 30, it can go into sideways market, dollar CAD, similar way the way we have seen previously. So dollar CAD. So let's look at the bigger time frame analysis. Longer term recovery and short to medium term. Medium term, we may see another shock on it. Okay, so far risk on moves, recovery. So currencies which are related to risk, those currencies to keep pushing higher. Which currencies which are related to risk off lose their value. Okay, for short term, and for medium to longer term, wait for another shock to come and those currencies to gain. All right, so we're going to look at them one by one. So we still can see another leg lower back to that bottom, but the chances for that move is very less likely. Okay, and correction, continue to go higher. Okay, how far this move goes, we'll see. After 2009 crash, or 2000, after the Great Depression, we have seen aggressive recovery. Okay, so price is rising very, very aggressive from the bottom after 23rd of March. Okay, so if we are going to see a recovery, all right, so quick recovery, or coming out, we are already out from the recession. Okay, recession is just gone. Recession is not there. So that was the recession. Okay, prices were going down, and economies have bottomed here. So longer term recovery, similar like the 2009. Okay, if not slow recovery, then another leg lower, and then again longer term bullish. So that's the bigger time frame chart, and on a lower time frame, stay bullish, right? So what was the old chart? Let's go back to the old chart and let's check those charts. Okay, that's the old chart, and this is what we were anticipating. All right, so fifth wave to appear over there. So fifth wave is still appearing over there, still keep pushing higher. That's what price is doing right now. Okay, so still pushing higher. So for more upside, Australian dollar to reverse for longer term. Okay, so we need another correction over there on Australian dollar. Okay, at least back to that trend line. Okay, if I'm gonna look at this trend, we need another correction. Okay, so we need another correction like this. Another correction, another correction, another correction. Very much similar like these previous corrections. Okay, and then you are looking to continue to go higher for longer term. Okay, if correction is not appearing over there, and it's breaking very, very aggressively, we are not currently anticipating that aggressive sell. Okay, so then you can follow that, and deeper correction over there, deeper, bigger ABC or daily correction, similar like the dollar index, which I have just shown you, euro dollar, and then continue to go higher. All right, so on lower time frame, you are looking to drop. Okay, so this to go, still it is still a short-term bullish. Okay, and still keep pushing higher. So when you are trying to counter that, make sure you trade with care. All right, so short-term it is still bullish. Okay, it can keep pushing slowly the way it is doing right now. So you're looking for this to give you a deeper correction over there, and then continue to go higher. So next week you are trying to counter that, but with care on correction. Okay, and once that correction gonna complete, okay, stay trending. Yeah, this correction, and then continue to go higher. Okay, if short move come in like that, short move, correct, and then one more drop. We'll see how far that goes. So short term bullish, all right. Medium term, you are anticipating a correction to form. Once that correction gonna complete, then continue to go higher. Okay, if I'm gonna go to the weekly charts, okay, this chart, we have seen crash, although we were not anticipating that crash, so go into that direction. Okay, we were not anticipating that crash. We have seen that crash. It was huge. All right, but recovery is pretty good after that. So correct, continue. Hopefully you got the idea now. So New Zealand dollar, US dollar is also very much similar like that. Let me check if I do have an old chart over there. So we were anticipating a recovery on the New Zealand dollar. It crashed, okay, went lower and then went higher. So we were buying the New Zealand dollar from these lows, all right? So charts are also there. Last time we were anticipating, this correction to go there. So New Zealand dollar is doing pretty well, okay, that chart. So longer term, bullish, okay, this chart. So longer term, reverse. If I'm gonna go to the bigger time frame chart, very much same like the Australian dollar. All right, so recovery after 2008 Great Depression, we have seen a very nice recovery. Okay, recession, recovery. Okay, recession, bottomed, recovery. How far and how long that recovery takes, we'll see. Okay, so we still can see another leg lower, all right, and then again longer term reversal. All right, that reversal. So on lower time frame, if I'm going to look at the daily time frame, so bigger time frame chart you have just seen. Okay, so we need a correction over there. Okay, a deeper correction, and then continue to go higher. So there is still possibility that you can trade on this move. Okay, trade on this move. Okay, how? But when you are selling it, make sure you see proper price action over there. All right, so if I'm gonna put a trend line over there, okay, and this trend line, that trend needs to break down very sharply. Okay, so any correction on 1 hour time frame 15 minute to 1 hour time frame, small correction, okay, there's going to be a short-term buy. All right, so this short-term buy, so once you're going to take that short-term buy, make sure you take your profit off. Okay, because this bigger correction is due. Okay, this bigger correction or bigger daily correction up to that trend line like that. All right, so when you should start selling, okay, when you see that the sharp aggressive sell is coming, correction coming, then start selling. All right, for the bigger correction. So yes, we were moving towards recession since 2014. All right, very good, point, very good point. So we were moving. So if I'm gonna look at this, okay, so if I'm gonna put that vertical line there, so we were having recovery since 2009, okay, at this area. Then again we were having downturn. Okay, since then we were going down. Okay, now we have seen central banks intervene. They have injected a lot of money into the market, billions and trillions. Okay, and we are having very aggressive buying. All right, and how long that recovery gonna be? That is the question. Okay, how long? Either the same cycle, all right, or quicker or slower. Okay, so good point. All right, so on lower time frame, 1 hour time frame, still bullish. Okay, so these corrections still can keep pushing higher. Okay, so still can keep pushing higher, can form another, can keep pushing higher. So you're looking for this to aggressively break down, correct, and then give you a bigger correction and then continue to go higher, or daily correction. So short term bullish, short term stay bearish on the dollar. Okay, but make sure you are ready for a bigger correction on the dollar. Okay, downturn, still one more leg lower. Okay, but for that, as I said, you stronger sell, correct, then you are selling it for more downside. If you don't see that stronger sell, no sell. Okay, no, price is not going to visit these lows. It has already done. So recovery, keep pushing higher. So pound dollar chart, very much same like the other. Okay, so recovery, longer term recovery, or one more shock. Okay, and then again recovery. So if I'm gonna look at the daily time frame, weekly chart. Okay, so weekly chart, hopefully you guys have seen, we were anticipating that recovery. Okay, and last week this correction to break out, we have seen, breakout, prices pushing higher to just keep pushing higher. All right, so pound dollar to just keep pushing higher. Let me check if I do have the updated charts. Okay, so this is what we were anticipating, breakout was happening, prices pushing higher, so still into this wave. Okay, we are still into that wave. And last week that was the updated chart. Okay, so we got a break up on it. So short term, keep pushing higher. So if sharp sell is going to come, then one more drop back to 120, 121, 122, and then again start rising from 120 to 120, 120, 1 or 122. All right, so keep pushing higher. Okay, that's the wave. Okay, if we're not going to see correction is not going to form, it's falling very aggressively. Okay, and there. Okay, correction, one more drop, these lows, again continue to go higher. Okay, if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, short term still bullish, short term continue to keep pushing higher. Okay, correction, another correction to keep forming, get this correction which is just trying to appear over there, that trade. Okay, form, keep pushing higher. So if correction is not happening over there, all right, and sharp sell is coming over there, okay, then one more drop back to the bottom, these areas, okay, 120 or 121, and then again longer term, the reversal. So pound dollar is rising nicely. So pound yen is also following the pound dollar. Okay, if I'm going to look at the pound yen, both are same chart, weekly chart, reversing from the bottom, very nice breakout, flag broken. Okay, so going higher. What was the bigger time frame chart? That was the bigger time frame chart. Okay, if you remember, I have shown you this chart on an 8-hour time frame. You see that? Price repeated that step again. Okay, and we got a break up. So going higher. Good. So keep pushing higher. Okay, that was the update. So on lower time frame, it is forming correction. Keep forming, keep pushing, keep forming, keep pushing, keep forming, keep pushing all the way back to that top. Okay, if not correcting, falling aggressively below that trend. Okay, correcting, one more drop, again longer term per upside. So let me go back to the old charts again. What was the chart which I used, for example? If you remember, 8-hour time frame chart. All right, so let me go to the 8-hour time frame chart. Let's check that, and that should be the 8-hour. Okay, so that 6-hour, sorry, that was the 8-hour, 6-hour. Okay, last time we were expecting this breakout to come, okay, in October. So we had that breakout. That was the chart which is used to explain. So what it did this time, okay, the daily chart which I used, we can get that from the Telegram as well. So same pattern. That's how powerful these patterns are. You see, that's how powerful these patterns are. How many tools I have used on this chart? One trend line and one arrow. One trend line there, one arrow. So if I'm not gonna put that arrow or that trend line, still I can see these patterns, all right? Because I'm having experience, okay, and I can see these, patterns. So my point is that if people are, putting a lot of tools on their charts or using a lot of indicators, that does not mean they are experienced, all right? Or price gonna follow their predictions, all right? So if I'm gonna show you on this clean chart, okay, so if I'm not gonna put anything on my chart, still I can see those patterns, all right? And these patterns behave in the same way, 90 to 95%. Okay, so on this clean chart, I can see where are, patterns, okay? And if I'm gonna put, tools on my charts, those tools gonna help me and gonna make my chart more clear for me. Okay, so these tools are just for us to read the market. Okay, we even can read the market without those tools. Okay, those tools are not going to make you profitable. Okay, if someone is selling tools or someone is selling indicators or selling second stuff which is less related to the price action, that is not going to make you profitable. All right, if they are selling, their tools, why they are not using for themselves? Just think about that. All right, so price action is the key, guys. Master that. That's important than any other tools, because price action is the information which you're going to get from your chart. Okay, and tools are secondary and fundamentals are secondary too. All right, market gonna price in to the fundamentals. All right, And we have seen strength on the equities. We have seen strength on the risk on assets last week. Why market was rising? There wasn't a strong reason. It wasn't a strong, indications. But market is pricing in good news that in future we're going to have good news, and people are still just buying based on that. Okay, market was expecting that OPEC country is going to reach to an agreement, and let's just buy. Okay, let's buy the oil. Let's go for risk on moves. So price section is really important. Okay, so price section was appearing on your chart, and news are coming later on. So what I was saying that pattern. Okay, we can see without tools. So that's the pound yen chart. What to do next? So the next is, as long as prices rising very, very aggressively, just stay trending for upside. Okay, this bigger correction, okay, if that bigger correction is going to come, still trending for upside. So what you are looking on lower time frame, any correction you see on your lower time frame, okay, 15-minute time frame to 1 hour, just stay trending for upside. Okay, very strong bullish trend. Okay, from another one, stay trending. Okay, correction, another one, short-term buy, another one, short-term buy. If correction is not coming, falling very, very aggressively, correcting, go down, then again longer-term buy. Bigger time frame chart, you guys have seen short-term bullish after having, those corrections. If I'm going to look at the pound yen chart, all right, so pound yen chart is doing really nicely. So we were expecting that wedge to break out, or daily correction which we're having over there, and it's just doing nicely. Okay, so hopefully you are in. Okay, so that's the pound yen chart, and pound dollar both are same. Let's look at the dollar yen chart. All right, so dollar yen chart, dollar yen is also following the risk on assets. All right, and we have seen short-term buy last week. Okay, if you remember, I was showing you that kind of expanding triangle. Okay, so price is still strong, so dollar yen to just keep pushing higher back to that top or new high. Okay, and then drop. So expanding triangle formation is not there. Okay, so risk on moves to stay on. Okay, that's the bigger time frame analysis on the dollar yen. Okay, we can see break up on this chart too for longer term upside. Okay, this is our impulsive wave, that's our correction, and in longer term you're going to see price going to go there. That's a longer term, all right, maybe after 2-3 years. Okay, that's a longer term forecast, all right, but this pattern going to break up in longer term, all right, and again risk on and risk off. So risk on moves to keep pushing, all right. So for next week, form another correction over there on lower time frame, we'll show you. Okay, and continue to go higher, and from top start looking for it to go down. Okay, if I'm going to go to the what was the last week, this flag to break up and continue to go higher. We have seen breakout, pushed higher. I'm going to go to the lower time frame, very much same like the pound yen chart. Okay, so correct, continue to keep pushing higher back to the previous top. Okay, so we have seen correction there. Good numbers were there on the non-farm payroll, and you have seen strength here, all right? You have seen strength here on the dollar yen, but you haven't seen strength on the euro dollar. Euro dollar, did not went lower, did not drop, right? Did not drop on Friday. So the reason is that why that has happening, why it went higher, but euro dollar wasn't doing anything. So it's a risk on risk off moves. Okay, we are having very strong risk on moves since March. So correction to go higher. Okay, correction is not forming, sharp sell is coming. Correct and then drop back to the bottom. Dollar yen. Okay, so euro yen. Again, risk on risk off moves. Okay, so euro yen also pushed higher very, very aggressively. we were not anticipating that kind of strength, the strength which we have seen last week, specifically on the, weaknesses on the yen. Okay, we were anticipating weaknesses on the yen, but not that way, the way we have seen, weaknesses on the yen. So it has surprised. The risk on moves have surprised everyone last week. All right, specifically after the job numbers. Okay, so that's our longer term chart. Okay, last week I was showing you an expanding triangle formation, something like that, price to keep pushing higher. Okay, on lower time frame breakout and continue to go higher, and then hit the top and then go lower. So this might be a longer term reversal on the euro yen. Okay, so you have seen similar kind of strength after that correction, and euro yen recovered. Okay, and then we have seen drop on the euro yen from that top. Okay, so again, strength is pretty much aggressive over there. It can correct. All right, so euro yen can correct like that and can keep pushing higher for longer term. Okay, if we're going to see that correction, then we will stay bullish on it back to that top. If we are not going to see correction there and stock market is going to drop very, very aggressively, we will not trade into that direction. Then we will trade for another leg lower back to these lows. Okay, and then again we'll search the longer term reversal. So again, price action. Okay, if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, stay short term bullish. Any correction you see short term bullish, 15 to 1 hour time frame, and keep taking your profit off. Don't stay within these longer term, short term trades for longer term for upside. Okay, because you can get into a bigger, we can see bigger correction at any time. Okay, so this correction to break up for another leg higher, take your profit. Okay, form another one, keep pushing higher, take off your profit. Don't stay into those corrections for longer term. So as I said, we are anticipating a bigger correction, so we are waiting for aggressive sell. All right, euro yen to fall very, very aggressively, this aggressive trend to break down, correct, stop behind that. Okay, and give us a deeper correction or go all the way back to the previous low. So euro yen to not just euro yen, okay, all yen pairs to behave into that direction, longer term reversal or drop very, very aggressively and then go down for another leg lower. All right, so that's the euro yen chart. Hopefully you got my point. All right, okay, so if I'm gonna aggressive sell, correct, and then drop, aggressive sell not coming, don't sell the euro yen. It's going to be reversed for longer term. Okay, so euro yen and Aussie yen. Okay, let's look at the Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, CAD yen at the same time. So weekly chart, very much same. Okay, so either correction and recover or fall back aggressively, correct and go down. Let's look at the CAD yen. Let's look at the Kiwi yen. All right. So we have the Slack group. Okay, as I said before, that's for paid members. Only those guys gonna have the access, those who are our paid members. All right, so if you're looking for that, go to the techtrainingacademy.com. Okay, so the Telegram channel which is there, that's for followers. All right, so let's go to the Kiwi yen. So very much same like the euro yen, and go to the techtradingacademy.com, please. So let me finish these setups. So okay, recovery or another shock, back to the bottom and then recovery. Okay, so this is Kiwi yen, very much same like the euro yen and Aussie yen. Okay, so CAD yen too. Okay, so recovery or another shock, another oil shock, recovery or another oil shock. So we're gonna look at them at the lower time frame, what to do. So just a basic idea, basic concept. Keep that basic concept into your mind. So where we were on the euro yen. Okay, now let's look at the pound yen. We have done euro pound. Weekly chart, keep pushing lower. Daily correction happening over there. Okay, this move, risk on move, all right, on this chart, risk on move. Okay, this daily correction is turning very much similar like the previous one. Pound yen already moved, pound dollar already broken out, euro pound hasn't broken down yet. All right, so euro pound to break down to this trade, okay, that trade, so risk on move. So euro yen correction was getting slightly bigger, all right, and after getting that correction bigger, it's broken down, all right, pushing lower. All right, so broken down, pushing lower, but still within that daily correction. Okay, so let's go to we are having a head and shoulder formation. All right, head and shoulder formation, that head and shoulder formation to go down. So this expanding triangle still can push higher for another leg. All right, and this is the structure which we are having right now. So you are looking to sell every time when the euro pound is testing the previous top. Okay, for next week, correct. All right, so correct there, continue to go lower. Okay, if this correction is not happening, then go back up, test these tops. Okay, resistance, those guys trade based on the support and resistance, test those tops, go down. Okay, so pound chief just reverse the opposite way. Pound chief to go back up for longer term. All right, like the pound yen or pound dollar chart arrows are showing. Last week we were anticipating it to break out. Okay, that flag to break out and continue to go higher, this flag. So that flag is broken out, next flag is broken out, again risk on moves. Okay, on this chart, risk on move. So correct, okay, very much similar like this previous corrections. Correct, stay trending, breakout and continue to go higher. Correct, continue to go higher. If correction is not coming and sharp sell is coming from this previous top, okay, so it's currently struggling, then another leg lower, back to this sell, back to this bottom, and then again start rising from that bottom. All right, this pattern flat formation. So we are not having that at the moment. All right, so you're looking for continuation for more upside. As I said before, stay bullish on this chart last week. All right, because Swiss National Bank is intervening. All right, they are trying to depreciate their currency. All right, so correct, similar way, continue. All right, not correcting, falling very aggressively, which we are not anticipating at the moment. Okay, so correct, then one more drop, then again buy from this previous low. All right, so pound chief to continue to keep pushing higher. Euro CAD, bigger time frame analysis, same like last week, that hasn't changed. We are still in a bearish trend. Okay, and it is also doing very much same like the dollar CAD chart. Okay, we have seen dollar CAD chart at the start. Yeah, what dollar CAD chart was doing, forming triangle over there and broken down. Okay, so what euro CAD is doing, just following dollar CAD footstep. All right, so this correction to break down, continue to go lower, complete that move there, and then continue to go higher. So what was the last week chart? So last week chart was that. All right, this move to continue to go lower, it went lower, then held the bottom, went higher. Okay, and then again we were looking for it to go lower. Okay, now this is the euro CAD chart. Okay, so same chart again. If I'm going to look at the updated chart, that's the updated chart. Okay, so we were anticipating it to go lower, it went lower, testing those lows. Okay, we still can see another leg higher, similar way, the way which I have just shown you the previous chart. Okay, and then again go down. Okay, so this bottom to hold for short-term buy. Okay, this move, follow the 15-minute time frame, price action for short-term buy on the euro CAD. Okay, if I'm going to go to the lower time frame, sideways market, price to bounce off. Okay, so price to bounce off, short-term buy back to that top, and again looking it to go down, break down, like the dollar CAD chart. CAD Chief, what was the last week? This to break out. Okay, broken out, went higher. What is next for the next week? So if you are trading on the CAD Chief, all right, so trade with care. It's moving, but moving slow, but risk on move, as I said, risk on move, okay? And CAD Chief to just keep Chief to drop, okay? And CAD Chief to just keep pushing higher. So all the way back to these tops or this area. Okay, so we have seen more than 50% recovery, all right? Okay, so make sure you understand that. So just keep pushing higher and correct for another time. That correction can get bigger. Make sure you understand that, all right? So correct all the way back to that trend line or this trend line, okay? But this area, flat expanding triangle, continue to go higher. All right, so cash to just continue to go higher. So Aussie New Zealand dollar, bigger time frame chart. Let's look at that and let's go to the updated chart. Let's look at the masterpiece. Okay, many people copy that chart, now showing that chart to their followers or to their customers. All right, so that's the masterpiece. All right, so now we are still anticipating another leg higher, okay? Another leg higher all the way back to this area, this previous, at least hit the 110. Okay, hit the 110 and then give us a price action over there, go down for the downside. All right, so make sure when you are buying this Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar at the current price, you understand that what is the bigger structure, what is the bigger time frame analysis, okay, before you trade for upside. So this breakout, bigger time frame, you got the idea. What was the last big trade? The last big trade was that, all right? We were anticipating this to break out, okay? This trade, that was the last week trade. Okay, we got that move. We were anticipating change in pattern formation, okay? And that, okay, it was keep pushing higher nicely. So that was the update. Okay, from top, we were anticipating it to continue to go higher or go down for another move. So we are having this move now. So what's next? Hopefully you got the point. What's next by looking at the past chart? Okay, so the next is this again. Okay, this chart again. So this correction to break up and short term buy. How far that goes, just follow that. Okay, so this correction to break up, how far this goes, just follow that. If you struggle at that top, start looking for a sell. Okay, if you rise aggressively, then stay in and hit the turn 110. So I'm just giving you a clue on this chart, guys, okay, how to trade. But when it comes to trade, all right, when it comes to trade, okay, that's actually different. So I'm just showing you directions here in the weekly market outlook. So make sure you understand the risk and understand everything before you put your money on the market, okay? Okay, when it comes to trade, then it's different, all right? Okay, that was the last time buy. So we see price action on this chart. Okay, so we were anticipating buy there. Okay, that buy, you know, I have shown you in a bigger time frame as well. So the chart which I'm showing here, okay, so there will be a price action and based on that we will take action. All right, so next wave is a breakout for upside. So Aussie yen, non-stop strength on this, just keep pushing higher. So what was the last week? Last week was this leg. Okay, we were looking for that leg. So we had that leg. Okay, on a bigger time frame, same like other charts. Okay, other yen charts, euro yen charts. Another shock, go down. No shock, continue to keep pushing higher. Correct? Continue to keep pushing higher. So hopefully we're gonna see sideways market on the Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, CAD yen very soon. The reason is that the stock market is going to tag the previous top, okay, and hopefully we not gonna see more upside on that. All right. Just 1 second. Let me block these guys. Okay, so hopefully, now let's move on. Okay, so same like the other charts. All right, so let's go on to the 4-hour time frame. So correct and continue to keep pushing higher. Correct, continue to keep pushing higher. So sharp sell, okay, this trend. Sharp sell, correct this trade, okay, or push a bit more lower. I'm going to go to the 1-hour time frame, same like the other risk on assets or risk on currencies. Okay, first of all, this trend, okay, this trend to keep pushing higher, okay, keep pushing higher, and aggressively break down. Okay, once you see that the breakout is coming, correct, bigger correction. Short-term bullish, and you're looking for this trend to break down and bigger correction. Okay, euro hours. Okay, so go for another up move. Okay, that trade and then drop. I'm going to go to the bigger time frame. Okay, so bigger time frame analysis, same like the others. Recovery or another shock. Okay, another shock, go back to that top. Recovery, keep pushing lower all the way back to this low. On lower time frame, keep pushing lower. What was the last week? Breakout and continue to go lower. Okay, this was the trade. So for next week, another push higher, this ABC move, and then continue to go lower. So Kiwi yen, same like the Aussie yen. Okay, so another shock or recovery for longer term. Okay, either recovery or another shock. So on lower time frame, 4-hour time frame, same like the Aussie yen. Okay, so the correction is due. So correct, continue. Sharp sell. Okay, so sharp sell, correct, go down all the way back to this trend or at least that trend. On 1-hour time frame, further lower, 30. Okay, this trend to stay intact and short-term buying. Okay, so short-term buying, stay short-term bullish, and make sure you keep taking your profit off. All right, because bigger correction is due and it can break down at any time. So short-term up, correct, short-term up, and this trend to break down very, very aggressively and bigger correction to come out. So CAD yen, very much same like this. Okay, so trend to break down this trend. All right, so short-term, first of all, short-term up, correct, short-term up, and this trend to break down after forming new high within that ascending channel, or fall aggressively from current price, and one more drop up to that trend line. If I'm going to go to the bigger time frame analysis, very much same like the other yen pairs. Recovery or another shock. All right, recovery or another shock. So bigger correction is due, all right? This bigger correction, okay, for more upside. So Uzi Chief, same like the yen pairs. Okay, so recovery or another shock. We are not anticipating that much strength on the Australian dollar, all right? So that's far away, by the way. Okay, so just go somewhere there. We'll see what price going to do after that. Okay, so I think we do have that chart. Okay, so like this. So it also did that. We were anticipating price to hold that bottom and then go higher. So we have seen shock, and prices are recovering very nicely. So what was the last week? This correction to break out and continue to go higher. Okay, so for next week, still short-term bullish. Okay, short-term bullish, this move, and correct. Okay, correct and continue to go higher. Let me look at the lower time frame. So short-term, keep pushing higher. All right, so you get slightly deeper back to this area and then continue to go higher. Okay, short term, keep pushing higher, and for sell, we need to see a stronger sell. Okay, as I said before, you guys are gonna start selling this pair. Okay, so stronger sell like that. If that's not coming, don't sell. Don't guess that. Don't guess the tops. There is no top. All right. So until you're gonna see that the stronger sell is coming. Okay, so this chart is also risk on move. When I say risk on, that means equity is to just keep pushing higher, and currencies which are, you know, correlated to risk on moves, those currencies to get strong. Okay, this to get strong too, and just keep pushing higher. So if you look at the CAD and you look at the oil, then why this pair is rising against the CAD? Why Uzi is rising? Uzi should not rise. Yeah, oil going higher, CAD gaining, but Uzi is still rising against the CAD. So it's a risk on risk off move, all right? So we have seen significant drop on the equities. Equities went lower very, very sharply. More money came in to the equities from central banks. Equities are recovering, all right? Currencies which, you know, went lower because of that shock, because of that crash, no, those currencies are recovering too with the stock market. Okay, as long as stock market will keep recovering, all right, will keep pushing higher, these currencies will remain strong too. Okay, which are, you know, risk on currencies. So when stock market gonna start pushing higher, all right, gonna form top, then again we're gonna see pressure on these currencies. Okay, then safe haven currencies gonna start to get strong. Okay, then they're gonna be set up. All right, so that's why I'm saying, as long as yen pair, yen is falling, you right? As long as yen pairs keep forming corrections on lower time frame, they will keep pushing higher and stay short term bullish. 15 to 30-minute time frame, keep buying, all right, and wait for the stock market to tag the tops, all right, to hit the highs, previous highs. And once stock market gonna start struggling at the previous highs, okay, then you start looking to safe haven currencies to get strong, all right, fall aggressively to the downside. So we are bullish. Okay, we are bullish on the stock market, we are bearish on the safe havens, and bullish on the other currencies which are related to the risk on moves. So, all right, so or are correlated with the stock market. All right, so hopefully you got my point. So correct and keep pushing higher. UZCAD to correct and keep pushing higher, guys. So correction is there on lower time frame, just continue to go higher. Okay, this chart too, correction is due, lower time frame correction to form, and continue to go higher. Okay, correct, continue to go higher, correct, continue to go higher. Okay, if this trend is breaking, then you are anticipating bigger correction or another shock. All right, so there are the bigger time frame, very much same like the other safe haven currencies, other like yen, all right, yen pairs. So the Kiwi Chief and Euro New Zealand dollar. Okay, just reverse this chart. All right, just reverse this chart to the Kiwi Chief. Okay, another shock or recovery and keep pushing lower. On lower time frame, correction to form and continue to keep pushing lower. All right, so correction to form, continue to keep pushing lower. All right, so Euro New Zealand dollar and Euro Chief, what is the bigger time frame chart? Same like old chart, okay? So the recovery or another shock. Another shock can push prices lower, okay? The recovery will keep pushing prices higher. So we are moving towards a recovery rather than shock. So what Euro Chief to do? Correct, continue to go higher. What Swiss National Bank is doing? Okay, they are trying to stop strength on the Swiss national, on the franc. So correct, continue, correct, continue. Bigger time frame chart you have just seen. Yeah, it can keep pushing up to 120. What was the old chart? Old chart is there in the Telegram, guys. So Euro Chief, correct and continue to go higher. Kiwi CAD also correct and continue to go higher. It is already correcting, all right, correcting, and this correction to continue to go higher on a bigger time frame. This is not a best chart at the moment, all right, and so trade with care, okay, but bullish, but we are bullish. And pound CAD to bullish too, okay. If I'm going to look at the lower time frame, so bullish, all right. So you're looking this to go higher from this previous bottom. All right, and pound Australian dollar, again, risk on, risk off. All right, so another shock, go back up. No shock, correct on lower time frame, keep pushing lower. Correct on lower time frame, keep pushing lower all the way back to the top, to the bottom. Shock coming, go back up. Okay, if I'm going to go to the lower time frame, the trend you are having, that trend needs to break out very, very aggressively before you guys start buying this. Okay, as long as prices keep correcting, don't buy. What I said last week, wait for this aggressive sell, aggressive buy, okay? Otherwise, short term sell. So same again, okay? So short term sell, yeah, and wait for this aggressive breakout to come, and then go back up. So risk on, risk off. All right, so this chart too, not a best chart, but correct on lower time frame and keep pushing lower. All right, dollar rand, again, risk on, risk off, okay? So correct, bigger correction, we are having finally a bigger correction, and complete that correction and continue to keep pushing higher. So that's the weekly chart, all right? Let's look at this weekly chart again. Okay, so we have seen exact target over there where the arrow was showing. Now the correction to form and this correction, okay? And once that correction gonna complete, continue to go higher. Okay, so on lower time frame, as said last week, correct. Okay, so we still can see another leg higher, okay, this leg higher up to 120. All right, currently we are not anticipating that one, guys, because there is risk on, risk off moves. All right, stock is pushing higher, and this can keep pushing lower. So correct over there and continue. So if you're trading for sell side, either way you are trading on this pair, just trade with care, okay? It's a high risk currency. All right, high risk and volatile currency. So that's the bigger time frame analysis on the Kiwi, on the dollar rand. All right, so dollar peso is also same. All right, correct, and just keep pushing lower all the way back to this trend line. All right, now let's move on to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin to breakdown. What is the bigger time frame analysis? Very much same like in the last week. It's struggling to go above the 10. Okay, go down for one more leg. Okay, this leg, Okay, that leg at that low and then go higher. If not pushing, not breaking down, and slowly keep pushing higher, right? Then form that flat formation. Okay, this ABC move, bigger ABC move there, then again go down and then continue to go higher. Okay, that trend. Okay, so this A, B at this previous top, C again at these lows, okay, and then continue to go higher. So this is still struggling to go higher. All right, still struggling, not very aggressive. So it can stop there, or we can see breakdown before going up to 14. So on lower time frame, we had a very nice sell, okay, and you are not looking for buy within these areas, as I said before, at 10. You're looking it to break down very aggressively. So there is a correction, yeah, that correction to break down, okay, similar like that, and go down all the way to this. So you're watching 10K is a price to watch. Okay, so if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, you can see struggling, all right, so struggling to push higher. Yeah, sellers coming. So you look in that correction to break down. Okay, so get ready for another aggressive sell on the Bitcoin. So if we are a Bitcoin buyers, so trade with care, all right? Don't follow it blindly for upside. Bitcoin and platinum. Okay, so platinum to break out, this correction to break out and continue to go higher. Yeah, this correction, same like silver last week, I have explained. Okay, copper pushing higher, right? So copper to just keep pushing higher. Okay, that's the bigger time frame chart. Let's go to the lower time frame chart. So give us another correction and stay trending for upside. Copper is also a sign for recession and recovery. Okay, so copper, when copper goes down, moving towards recession. Okay, when copper goes up, more activities. Okay, more, you can say that manufacturing activities, and go higher. All right, so that's your copper chart. Just stay trending, keep pushing higher. Let's look at the equities now. So S&P, ASX or UZI 200. So just keep pushing higher, all right? So that's a bigger time frame chart, and it's just rising. So just keep pushing, right? Keep rising, all right? Any correction you see, 15-minute time frame to 4-hour time frame. Okay, so stay bullish. All right, so we are anticipating a slightly bigger correction, on all indices, okay, and that correction to complete and continue to go higher. So start looking the 15-minute corrections, okay, so 15-minute correction to form, continue to keep pushing higher. 15-minute correction is already there, so you're gonna see same patterns almost everywhere on all indices, okay. That's you. There you got, okay, there you got the patterns. So you look in these 15-minute corrections to just keep pushing higher. Okay, that there is a correction. Breakout, correct. Breakout, continue to keep pushing higher. Okay, if some point there, it will go for a bigger correction at some point. Okay, like this, like that. Okay, this will be another opportunity for you. Okay, if this is going to get a bigger, it will give you a. Let me explain to you in another way. Okay, so hopefully you got it. Okay, on this chart I will explain this to you on another chart. But on this chart, you look in these 5-minute corrections to just keep pushing higher. Okay, any dip you see on indices, 15-minute time frame to 1 hour and 4-hour time frame, look for continuation, look for buy. All right, so people are buying very aggressively at the moment. Okay, so that's the Marvel. It has broken the top. Okay, now if I'm going to look at the US indices, the most important part of the weekly market outlook. Okay, so let's look at the S&P 500. Let's look at the masterpiece of the wave trading again. Let's go to the profile. Okay, that's another masterpiece. Look at that, how Simple that chart is. And where the price is right now, 38.88. Okay, where we were anticipating it to hold, 22.80. So we are having a very nice short move for the upside. All right, so what I was saying that, you know, we are having a very quick recovery or V-shaped recovery on the indices. All right, and what is the room left behind is this. Okay, we are anticipating that after hitting these tops, okay, or slightly going higher, indices gonna start struggling. Okay, then fundamentals gonna catch up the indices, and we can see another correction like that. Okay, that correction. So if you're gonna see that correction on the indices, then start selling the Australian dollar against the yen, start selling the Kiwi yen, CAD yen, all these currencies. But before that, wait for the indices to complete that move. All right, and what I'm saying, what was the second point? Now let's talk about that second point. Okay, the second point is this. Okay, we are still having that 8%, 8 to 9%, 7 to 9% strength over there. Last week we have seen this. Wow, very aggressive move, very aggressive move. So all those experts who are saying that we are going to see recession and this and that and blah 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 blah, where they are now. All right, you're not going to find them. So they are searching other reasons for themselves, for for safeguarding themselves. They're searching reasons why equities has done that and this and that and blah blah blah. Yeah, so searching reasons. So let's talk about the lower time frame. Okay, the point which I want to tell you. So there we can see, okay, that this arrow, this potential is still there. So if I'm gonna use this tool and gonna figure it out, that how much percentage is left, so we can see there that almost 7% potential is still there on the S&P 500. Okay, where was the previous top? Close to the 35. Okay, we are still having 6 to 7% room on the S&P 500. Okay, and if S&P 500 keeps pushing higher very aggressively the way it is doing right now, okay, then it's gonna tag that top quickly. Okay, then you only can trade for this much for upside. Okay, and if we're gonna get a correction, which we are anticipating right now, okay, this correction, at least similar like that. Okay, drop. Okay, drop for another 7%. Okay, drop for another 7%. Correction, like that flag, like that. Okay, like those corrections, like that correction, and then continue to go higher. Okay, so this will grow your return for upside. Okay, so almost 13 to 14%, we can see that. Okay, so hope for this correction. If that correction is not coming out, then watch any 15-minute corrections, okay, for short-term buy and continuation for upside. All right, so we are anticipating that correction, 4 to 5% drop on the indices and then continuation to go higher. All right, so if I'm going to look at the lower time frame, hopefully you understand my point. Okay, so if correction comes, it will give you another chance to buy for 13 to 14%. All right, so 13 to 14% is a good return. So I'm going to look at the lower time frame. Okay, so any correction you see on these time frame, just stay bullish and use your risk according to that. All right, don't over risk on these corrections, these 15-minute corrections. Use reasonable risk, and once you see that the correction is bigger enough, like 4-hour time frame, okay, let me tell you in another way. Okay, so there you can increase your risk. Okay, 15-minute corrections, keep your risk accordingly for short term. And once you see that, the bigger correction is going to come, okay, like that, this flat formation, then you can increase your risk, okay, for this, I mean, like this, for this wave. Okay, so that was a medium to longer term trade, all right? And the trade I'm showing on 15-minute time frame, those are short term trades, okay? You can see that scalping or just for short term trades. Okay, but these trades these are big trades, all right? Not small trades. I mean, we can see that not $10 stop loss and $50 trade, okay? So that's not worth taking, guys, simply. If you are looking for $10 to $15 trade on the S&P 500, yeah, you're gonna get that $50 after a couple of weeks to month, all right? So you can't, I mean, $50 off, $50 to $100 after a couple of months is not worth taking. Okay, so I'm talking about position, all right? I'm not talking about for small trades. I'm talking about position. So if you're gonna get 8 to 9% drop on indices or flag formation, okay, that will give you another opportunity to take a position for more upside for 12 to 13%. Okay, and that's gonna be a good trade. So far, just keep trading for these, tiny corrections for upside. Okay, so S&P 500 bullish, and hopefully you got my point, okay, on the S&P 500. So same gonna apply on other indices. And another thing, those who are trading on the indices, another thing you need to keep in your mind that the US indices are rising very, very aggressively for upside, okay, and about to tag the top. Nasdaq 100 index already hit the previous high. S&P 500 are just a couple of percent away from the top, 7% away from the top. But there are other indices which are lagging, okay, which are following the US indices, and still 30 to 25 to 40% away from the top. Now investors going to run after those indices. They're going to go after those indices, okay, they're going to buy those. So you should watch them, okay. Now you should keep eyes on those indices. So Nasdaq index is also keep pushing higher, and that was also a very good chart, okay. So let's straight away move on to the lower time frame. So as said, keep pushing, keep buying for 15-minute corrections, okay, and wait for the 4-hour time frame corrections and continue to go higher. Nasdaq index, Dow is also same. Okay, if I'm going to go to the chart, on Dow chart. Okay, so Dow, right, so there you got the Dow and US Russell 2000. So it also pushing higher nicely, about to tag the previous top, same like the S&P 500, all right. So let's straight away go to the lower time frame. As explained, the S&P 500, same on this chart, 15-minute time frame, buy, okay, and keep taking your profit off on 15-minute trades, all right. Don't hold 15-minute trades for more upside, okay, and wait for this bigger correction. That correction is due. This will give you a perfect opportunity, all right, that opportunity, okay. 15-minute time frame, as said on the S&P 500, okay, 15-minute correction is there, that correction to continue to keep pushing higher. So short term still bullish, okay, and medium term correction, and medium to longer term keep pushing higher. Same on the German 30, all right. So this chart is also same like the US indices, okay. So 15-minute to 15-minute correction to keep pushing higher, all right. Tag the top as much quickly as they can, okay, and be ready for this bigger correction, all right. Be ready for that bigger correction. So US Russell is also same, correct, 15-minute correction, buy, 15-minute correction, buy, all right, and be ready for bigger correction, okay. This bigger correction gonna be perfect for them, those who missed the move from these lows on the indices. That was a free money, guys, on the indices, all right. So if you missed, hope for the bigger pullback. All right, so there you got the turtle, I mean, you can say that turtle indices, right. So this is turtle, UK FTSE 100 index, 20% away from the top. Okay, if we're gonna get a 8 to 10% drop correction like that. Okay, if I'm gonna put that there, 8 to 10% drop, okay, then it will definitely increase your return for longer term. So you're gonna see strength on them, okay, very soon. Very soon investors gonna run after these indices. Once US indices, all US indices gonna hit the top, you're gonna see strength there, okay, then there gonna be money. Okay, you look at that, 30%, 20% on this small. Yeah, if we're gonna get a bigger correction, which we are anticipating, still 29%. So this is a good return. Now they gonna be in focused in coming days, in coming weeks. All right, so investors gonna run after these. So there are a couple of more like that which are still lagging to the US indices. Okay, so if you miss the US indices, now follow the UK. Okay, so same 15-minute correction, keep pushing higher. 15-minute correction, keep pushing higher. Tag the top. Yeah, give us a bigger correction and then continue to go higher again. Okay, so same on this. Correct, keep pushing higher. Correct, keep pushing higher. Okay, if bigger correction comes, don't panic. This will give you a best opportunity again. All right, so same on this. So US in this, if I'm gonna go to the lower time frame, 15-minute time frame is same, guys. That's the reason I'm not pulling out the 15-minute time frame. All right, so 15-minute time frame is still same. Okay, so you are having that correction. Non-farm payroll was strong and everyone was just buying the indices. Okay, so this 15-minute correction is strong, is same on every indices. Okay, and continue to go higher and wait for the bigger correction. All right, bigger correction, 4-hour time frame. Okay, so same on this chart, same on this two stock 600. 50-minute time frame, keep pushing higher. Form another correction. After that, keep pushing higher. That's the trend over there. All right, and if I'm gonna go to the 4-hour time frame, hope for the 4-hour time frame correction. Okay, hope. So when I say hope, so those who trade on the indices, they know what I'm saying. All right, or specifically those who miss the move. All right, those who miss the move from the lows, they are investors actually running for the yield. All right, or you can say that those who are who believe that in this is going to go much lower, yeah, and they were not buying, they were sticking to their ideas, they were sticking to their views and waiting for the worst, more worst to come, but they did not participate into the market. All right, so they are waiting for pullback. All right, so 8 to 9% pullback, 8 to 9% pullback gonna give them something to cheers at the end of this year. Okay, so silver continue to go higher. Chart is very much clear. We have seen the expanding triangle formation last week. All right, from that, hit that bottom, continue to go higher. Gold, okay, gold chart is there. So this is the gold chart. All right, same chart last week I have shown. All right, so this is the bigger time frame. Okay, 2-week time frame analysis, 2-week time frame analysis with lower degree pattern. Okay, so that was the update. Okay, so breakdown, one more drop as said last week. Now hold these lows and expanding triangle and look for it to go for next leg. Okay, so gold is not dropping very aggressively to the downside. Any shock, if we are going to see any shock on the indices from the previous top, okay, then gold will keep pushing higher. All right, that move. So from bottom, continue to go higher. Oil to just keep pushing higher. Okay, oil chart is also there, guys, on the Telegram. So just watch those charts and learn something if you are in a learning process. Okay, so that was the buy. We were looking for 26 to continue to go higher. All right, we were even looking below that oil to continue to go higher. So this a flat formation, I have shown that in the weekly market outlook. That flat is just keep pushing higher. Okay, very nicely flat is pushing higher. Now any correction on lower time frame, that correction to just keep pushing higher. All right, if I'm going to go to the lower time frame, any correction you see there, as said on the indices, short term buy and wait for the bigger correction. Correct, continue to go higher. Correct, continue to go higher. Okay, and wait for this bigger correction. Okay, at some point you're going to have that bigger correction on the oil. Stay bullish for short term. Keep taking your profit off. Don't from current price. All right. Don't hold your oil longs from current price for longer term. All right. Continue to go higher. So that's the oil. That's it for the day, guys. Is there any question, guys? If you have the natural gas is a bullish. Oh, I forget to mention this chart, guys. This is also a big buy. This is also a big buy, which is just setting up for there, all right? And simply break out of that, okay? Big buy. It's setting up for a big buy. Use proper risk reward ratio on this chart. If you're gonna use proper risk reward ratio, you're not gonna hurt, okay? But return gonna be huge over there on this chart when we're gonna get a breakout. It's setting up for a breakout. All right, this to break out. If you remember that, how it did last time, palladium, it wasn't stopping at all before the pandemic and was just keep pushing higher. So this is a good chart too. So watch it. So natural gas bullish. So we have done the Bitcoin. Bitcoin to hold the 10,000 and stay below 10,000, okay? Drop, continue to go lower below 10,000. Okay, so this move, that's the natural gas. Stay bullish on the natural gas from 150, 160, 165 areas. All right, so that's it, guys. Enough for the week. Hopefully you have enjoyed this weekly market outlook. We'll see you back again in another weekly market.